In a world plagued by catastrophic weather, nations unite to control the chaos. But when a conspiracy unravels and the countdown to a global geostorm begins, only one man can save humanity. Here is how it all begins. As the movie starts, it is said that global warming has taken its swing, and catastrophic weather was practically plaguing the world, with many cities wiped out because of it. As a reply to this, the nations have united to create a solution, a weather controlling system nicknamed Dutch Boy. It works by satellite deployment that has the job to contain any catastrophe, much like what the Shanghai one was, everything in order for the climate to be stabilized around the globe. Jake Lawson, the architect of Dutch Boy, is brought to testify to court because Senator Thomas Cross is displeased by Jake, who went ahead and did the project without his permission. Jake has no compelling argument and starts arguing with the senators. His brother tries to shut him up, but is not able to. Jake's brother, Max, after the meeting was adjourned, tells Jake that he is the one appointed to take his place, and regrettably fires Jake. A bad decision was the conspiracy angle taken for the movie, and the change-up between Jake and Max, because, firstly, there is an elaborate plan that doesn't make any sense, and secondly, the bad guy is so patently obvious that many moviegoers will notice who exactly it is right from the start. The hero of the movie is Jake, a loud, obnoxious jerk that few people would want to spend any amount of time with, and it seems like Gerard Butler embodies these characteristics. Moving 3 years later into the story of the movie, soldiers move through Afghanistan, and they come across a village that has been frozen over, with the villagers standing frozen in place. Up on the International Climate Space Station, Jake's working place, a colleague of his, Mahmoud, examines the data gathered from Afghanistan in secret, and as he moves through the station, the windows blow up and he is sucked out into space. President Andrew Palma is notified of the incident and says that there must have been a glitch with one of the satellites over Afghanistan. Deckham, a person who knows Jake very well, suggests that Jake should be brought back up in the station, as he is the one who is the most qualified person in the world to fix this. Max then drives to his brother's home in Florida, and despite not being interested at the beginning, Jake knows the catastrophe that can take place in the near future. The movie shifts toward a scene in Hong Kong, where the ground suddenly rumbles before gas mains start to burst underground and explode, causing an earthquake in one part of the city that destroys a piece of it. Jake, on the other hand, agrees to go to the station and meets Ute Fassbinder, the station's commander, and her crew, Ray Dussett, Duncan Taylor, Annie Adisa, and Al Hernandez. In Tokyo, a huge hailstorm hits, big enough to destroy a bus. One of the scientists from the Hong Kong space station, Chang, contacts Max after finding out he is not able to log into the satellite and warns Jake that if this pattern of weather continues, a geostorm will occur, in which disastrous weather will strike all over the globe at once. Max, after learning about all this, turns to Dana, a cybersecurity hacker, who finds out that Max has no access to the satellites as well, and that the entire system has been hacked by someone. Jake sees in a surveillance video of the accident that killed Mahmoud that a hard drive got stuck by a panel. Jake then goes to retrieve it, but his spacesuit malfunctions and he is nearly killed. When he goes back inside, he only tells Ute that he found the drive, but keeps this a secret from everyone else at the station, fearing that one of them may have deliberately sabotaged him. Not being able to access the drive, Jake contacts Max, who then gives the footage to Dana. Using their dad's old phone number, Max decrypts the message and learns that Jake believes someone within the White House is responsible. There are also many subplots that only take screen time, like Jake's relationship with his disappointed daughter Hannah, as well as Max's supposedly clandestine affair with a Secret Service agent. Max attempts to meet up with Chang, but is unable to do so because Rico, a mercenary leader, is behind Chang, who pushes him in front of a car, killing him. However, not before Jake is able to run to him and hear the last words of Chang that mention something about Project Zeus. The movie managed to get some things right, but the real thing about the movie is that it doesn't even work as the title suggests. Yes, there are scenes of weather-related destruction, but it's only a little, but just enough footage to fill up a trailer, making it seem a little more spectacular. The information about Project Zeus is then relayed to Dana, and it is said that Project Zeus is meant to manipulate the weather and create the previously mentioned geostorm. Jake and Ute find the log data that Mahmoud stored in Dussett's locker. He initially thinks they suspect him of sabotaging Jake, even holding them at gunpoint, but all of them come to an understanding. The group finds out that there has been a virus installed that prevents the people at the station from logging in. In order to stop the geostorm from happening, they need to reboot the system with kill codes, which are with the president. Max confronts Sarah, the Secret Service agent he has an affair with, and that he needs her help. Max and Sarah then head to the Democratic National Convention in Orlando, where Max learns that a huge thunderstorm is about to hit the area. Max then tries to warn Deckham, but is instead taken to a room and held at gunpoint by Deckham, revealing himself to be the true villain. Max rushes to tell Sarah. She creates a diversion to get the other Secret Service agents away while she gets Palma. She and Max take him in a self-driving cab just as the storm hits. They get far away from the stadium as it is blown up by a massive lightning bolt. Sarah drives through the city, evading Rico and his goons. They go under a bridge and manage to push Rico into the path of the storm, causing a bolt to hit his car and blow him up. Deckham is ahead in the road and uses one of his goons to try and kill Max, Sarah, and Palma with an RPG. The car blows up, but they are not inside. Max and Sarah incapacitate the goon and hold Deckham until the police arrive to arrest him. Before he is taken away, Deckham reveals his plan to take out America's enemies and leave the United States in charge of the world, with him as president. The virus starts to completely take over the station, causing its self-destruct sequence to go off. The satellites then go out of control, causing devastating weather to hit parts of the world, including a tsunami in Dubai, a heat wave in Moscow, and tornadoes in Mumbai. People are frozen in their tracks, burned alive, or sucked up. The geostorm starts counting down to less than 90 minutes, and Jake learns that Duncan is responsible for the virus. And when he goes to confront him, Duncan says that he was paid more than he is at the station to do things like this. Duncan accidentally hits the windows with bullets. Jake barely escapes, but Duncan is sucked into space. Max and Sarah get Palma to send the kill codes. Jake contacts Max and says that the kill codes will stop the geostorm, but not the self-destruct sequence. Jake prepares to die, despite Max trying to find a way. The brothers acknowledge their love for each other. Jake rushes to take the kill codes to the main computer, with Oot staying behind to help him. The two manage to stop the geostorm, bringing all the crazy weather to a halt. As the station continues to crumble, Jake and Oot find a nearby pod. The station is obliterated, leaving everyone to believe that Jake is dead. Hannah starts crying with her mother while she watches the whole thing from her home. But Max is then alerted to a video from a nearby shuttle that the pod is signaling for help. The shuttle stops to grab the pod, saving Jake and Oot, who are brought to Earth. The movie then shifts 6 months later, and we see Jake at his old job, engineering another Dutch boy, a new one. He, Max, and Hannah are shown fishing, but they find it boring. And we then hear Hannah's voiceover saying that while we cannot change the past, we can only hope to make the future better. The goofy premise of the movie is enough to watch, but not for it to leave memorable scenes of disaster, ones that will slip away from you shortly after the movie. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and turn on the notifications so you never miss any of them.